Hi everybody. I just had to play that twice because it went live as soon as it was black. And I was like, oh, you missed all the beautifulness, and we want it to be beautiful.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's beautiful music.
It really is.
And a pretty image, I just want to have everything be pretty and nice. So hi everybody, welcome to Reveal the Future. I'm joined by my good friends Gerald, Val, and Marina tonight, and I hope everybody who's watching is doing really well. And if you're watching on replay, bless you. I hope you watch it a million times, because every time you replay this and go through the visualization, you put out your intention to the universe that this is what you want to have happen, and that is so important. So thank you to everybody who's watching right now and who's going to be joining us, and also in the future. I like that. I'm thanking people in all directions of time and space. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight is very important. And I know that people have a real sense of hopelessness around this topic, and a feeling of, some people may be angry, some people may be fearful, but I really feel it's important that we do this visualization tonight. And this is about the current configuration of the Supreme Court. We're not going to focus on any particular case that they have decided or made so-called decisions about, but we are going to focus on the personnel who make up the Supreme Court of the United States. And so we're going to go around, everybody say hello and say a few things about SCOTUS, and come back to me, and we'll do a beautiful visualization. So Gerald, why don't you kick us off? Hi, how are you?
I'm well. I'm Tarot Stash. I'm glad to be here. And I was actually, because, I was going, okay, what is the purpose of the Supreme Court? And according to supremecourt.gov, it is, as the final arbiter of the law, the court is charged with ensuring the American people the promise of equal justice under law, and thereby also functions as guardian and interpreter of the Constitution. Ensuring that people the promise of equal justice under law. There you go. That's what I think.
So if I were a professor grading them on their assignments, most of them would get an F. They just it's like they didn't even read the assignment.
Correct.
Just
terrible. I wonder how many of the, I'll get salty. I wonder how many of them actually reference the Constitution daily in their jobs as a reminder.
Well, they probably reference it when it supports whatever argument they're trying to make, but
correct.
Not any kind of self-awareness or anything like that going on. I mean, that's clear. Well, thank you. That was a very, very nice little bit of knowledge to drop in our brains. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And Marina, hello. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Enjoying the summer, hoping to survive the heat. I am not alone in this. There are many out there who are going through the same thing. So, yes. Supreme Court for me that's the vision that you just read, Gerald. That is what I always thought the Supreme Court should be. And that is even the court, the highest court here in Canada. That is what I expect, that these are all learned people who are able to put politics and personal opinion aside and make rulings based on law. In what we're seeing right now, it's not happening. And change needs to come. And, I always like to look at it as the glass is half full. Maybe these people needed to be where they are right now so that we can very, very clearly see what is wrong.
Yeah. This reminds me of when in Game of Thrones, when Ned Stark says, brave. Well, I'm not brave. I mean, a man is brave you only know that you're brave when it's really hard to be brave.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the rest of the time you can just be, every
Yeah.
day. And I feel, again, they've failed. They have just failed in their duty.
Yes.
Some of them, not all of them,
No.
but anyway. Hi, Val. How are you?
Hi, we're hot here in Las Vegas area, but much like Marina in Canada. So, but I am loving this Reveal the Future because this is so important. And I just want to say that this is revealing places within our Constitution that are too broad and undefined, so that the Supreme Court justices who are not adjudicating in a balanced manner, like the scales of justice ask, and they are twisting the Constitution to mean whatever they want, when constitutional scholars say, oh, it doesn't mean that. Well,
Yes.
let's take those places and visit them to make them clearer. Because what's happening with SCOTUS right now is a clear and present danger. And just today, AOC filed for the Supreme Court Justices Alito and Clarence Thomas, to be
Impeached.
thank you for that word.
You're welcome.
To be impeached. Now, what the reason why is self-evident from their behavior, their emoluments, all their goodies that they've collected, and things that they've done, which are not acceptable for an unbiased judge who is in the highest court of the land, who sits over the entire United States. This is an imbalance of power so grave that this has to be rectified immediately. And this Reveal the Future that Colleen has brought to us all is that important. So, Colleen.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. So I just want to point out that, like the debacle of the debate, the decision that the justices have recently handed down, it took a little while for the dust to settle. We're about, I think it was July 1st, was it not, that they handed it down? So
Yes.
this is the 10th. So 9 days later, and people are just now starting to say, well, the way they wrote that decision really wasn't very clean. They left a lot of holes. They left a lot of things open. And they made, a lot of it just against the Constitution, which that will also be challenged. But how? How do we challenge it? They are supposed to be the law of the land. And so that's going to be very interesting to see that. But I do see the cracks in the wall, because people are starting to think of challenging the actual decision. People are finding ways to make sure that the DJT cases are not just blown up with this decision, that they do remain with some charges holding. And the impeachment thing with AOC, drawing up articles of impeachment, that's very encouraging, actually. But also Sheldon Whitehouse going to Merrick Garland. He wrote a letter to Merrick Garland and said, I believe that this warrants a special prosecutor.
I agree.
So these things are all happening like within the last 24, 48 hours. So about a week after this decision, all of this stuff is starting to tumble out. So what I want to visualize tonight is the Supreme Court that we deserve. And I believe that pretty much all of these momos should go. I really don't think we have room for Roberts, Thomas, Alito. I don't even have that much favor for Gorsuch. He's just been quiet in the background. Sotomayor wants to retire. She's older. Well, not that much older. She's like 70 or 70 something. and she's diabetic, and she wants to just enjoy the rest of her days with her family. She really doesn't want to be on the court anymore. So we let her go, but with a big pom pom and applause, right? Because we love her. Coney Barrett, I actually think is salvageable. She has a brain. And if you're going to have somebody really conservative, okay, fine. She can be a conservative. Of course, Brown Jackson has to stay. And I Like Beer has to go. He's just
party scum. I mean, I'm sorry. College frat part. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So that leaves, let's see, if we take all of my people off that I don't think should be there anymore. Let me see. No, we're going to keep Kagan. And Sotomayor is only going because she wants to go. Okay. Yeah. And okay. So that leaves two. Two of the current justices can stay. That's Coney Barrett and Brown Jackson. And I'd like to see a SCOTUS that has 13 justices, one for every district in the United States. It's really too much power for any one justice to be controlling those other things, not to mention that that's probably the shitty part of the job. You know what I mean? Like, that's the administrative, dirty grunt work of the job, rather than thinking about law and lofty things like that. So I want to keep, this is me. Now you guys can visualize something else, but this is what I'm thinking. So Coney can stay. I mean, by now her and Brown Jackson have shared stories in the ladies' room, and so they're starting to get to know each other. So we'll keep those two. And and Kagan, we got three. Okay, Kagan. Yeah. Okay. So Brown Jackson, Kagan, and Coney Barrett. And the rest of those guys, like I said, they're just momos. Let them go off into the sunset, get impeached, get incarcerated, get indicted, whatever it is that's going to happen to these guys. So be it. They made their bed. Yeah. So what I'd like to envision is 13 heads, 13 justices at SCOTUS who are sincere, first of all, sincere, who have integrity for themselves, who respect themselves and hold themselves to account. I mean, yes, Congress is going to force that ethics stuff and all that. I'm not even concerned about that. I'm concerned about the people who will inhabit those robes. And do they have to buy more if we have 13? Are they going to give them a bunch of old ones? I'm kidding. But
I'll buy him a robe.
Right. I'll
do a GoFundMe. Let's get to the
You took the words out of my mind. That's what we want. We want to GoFundMe for new robes for the justices. Yes. I mean, all these kids graduating from college and high school, they probably have a few they could just throw in. They only use them once, right? And then they just hang in the closet until 10 years passes, and then they go, "Oh, I think I'll throw this out." And then it becomes a Halloween party from someone from Goodwill or something. Yeah. So that's what we're going to envision. We're going to envision 13, including these three. So 10 extra people that are actually just, fair, mature, measured, people who can make decisions, people who understand the Constitution and the law really, really well, people who can set aside their biases, because even people who are, there's room for people who are conservative and more progressive. Yes. There's room for all of that. But the key is they have to be very, very knowledgeable in the law. They have to be able to think on their feet and use this stuff. And if they've been a judge at a appellate court or federal level, then they probably have that. But it's being able to set aside your biases and all of those things. And I know that I'm not a lawyer. I've worked with lawyers for over 30 years, but I'm not a lawyer. And I just want some really cool people to sit on that bench.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be under 50. They can be a little older. I don't mind that they're only going to have maybe 20 years on the bench. I don't mind. That's okay. We want a great mix of minds.
Could we also have a Supreme Court that represents, that we see the population of the United States of America in that court?
Sure, we really should. Although I would love to have RGB's dream come true and have them all be female.
Yes.
Well, if you want to get stuff done.
We want to get stuff done. And hey, the pendulum had been swinging the other way for what is it? How old is the Supreme Court? I think it's about maybe 200 years old. It's not as old as the country, but it's pretty old, right? So for 200 years, the boys had it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And it was an anomaly to have a female or a person of color. Just incredible. And I mean, Thomas, you can't even count as a person of color. the way he behaves, the way he speaks, the way his decisions go, the way his opinions go. He says these things, you know. He wants to go do away with affirmative action. I guess he did. I think he did. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't want to get into all of their decisions. So 13, including Coney Barrett, Brown Jackson, and Kagan. So 10 new people plus these 3 women. And it should represent the country in all ways, various colors, various, a mix of sexes, but also a mix of possibly gender identities.
Yes.
And a mix of philosophical or religious beliefs. A mix will give you a wonderful cauldron of ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
A beautiful cauldron of ideas. So that's what I want to see. So kind of start formulating that in your brain. And we're going to do this visualization here where we're going to zoom in on the actual courthouse. Let me see if I can well, I don't have time to go pull up a picture. You've all seen it. It's that big courthouse, and they have I think they have like lions on the little pedestals at the bottom of the steps, but a lot of steps. God, just walking up those steps every day. That would be my steps for the day. Once up, once down. I'd be like, woo, got the steps in. Okay. But I'm not looking for that job. So what I'm going to do now is start to share my screen. Let me turn this on. Okay, so there we go. All right, so we're going to start to share the screen. And okay, and I'm going to just use that. And I'm going to turn on my music, and we're going to start visualizing. So get yourselves comfortable, everybody. Make sure that you got a little water close by. Make sure you're, well, I guess warm enough is kind of, who cares? Everybody's warm enough, right? All right. And I think for this, I'm going to use this is Arthur Ease Your Mind. He gifted me these music tracks, so I want to give him credit. And this one is called Creativity Music. And I think it's about 20 minutes long. We won't go that long, but I just wanted you to know it was music by him. All right, so just get yourselves comfortable and close your eyes. And I hope everybody can still hear me. Gerald, can you give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me? Okay. All right, can you hear the music?
Not yet.
How's that? Okay. And if it gets too loud, I'll turn it down. All right, everybody. So settle into wherever you're sitting, whether it's a chair, the sofa, kitchen table, wherever you're comfy. And I want you to send your energy from the bottom of your feet down into the earth, like roots of a tree. Just sink it down into the earth so that you are really, really connected to the earth. And so this means whatever country you're in, you're really, really connected to that country because you're connecting to the earth, the soil that that country is on. And for me, that is New Jersey. So wherever you are, that's where you're grounding yourself. Then I want you to feel the energy of the earth coming back up through those roots and into your feet. And it might tingle a little bit, or it might make you feel like your feet are almost twitching a little bit. That energy is real. That energy is coming up from the earth and it's activating you. It's connecting to you. And now the energy is moving up into your shins and your calves. And just enjoy this energy. Take a deep breath in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. All the while, this energy is slowly coming into your body, into your upper legs, into your pelvis area. And breathe again in through your nose, out through your mouth. Ah. If you feel like making some sound when you're exhaling, go ahead and do it. I think most people are muted anyway. Ah. By now, this beautiful earth energy is vibrating in your lower abdominal region. And then moving up to fill up the rest of your torso. And as the energy reaches your shoulders, it shoots down your arms all the way down into your fingers. And this is the energy of the earth. This is grounding energy. This is the energy of the soil that we live on. It's dark. It's moist. It's healthy. It helps you stay connected to the earth. And we very much need to be connected to the earth right now. And now I'd like you to imagine that a ball of shimmering white opalescent light is forming above your head, about the size of a basketball. It's pretty big. And this ball of shimmery white light, this orb, is rotating. It's rotating in one direction. Every once in a while, you can see a little glint off of this shiny, opalescent, beautiful orb. Continue to breathe. And now the energy of this orb, this light, is sort of liquidy, almost like liquid soap. It's beautiful, opalescent liquid, and it starts to pour down into your crown chakra. And it pours down and begins filling up your whole skull. And it's a different feeling from the earth energy. This is smooth but sparkly. This is silky. This is celestial. This is angelic. And this beautiful, beautiful energy now moves down into your neck and across your shoulders and out your arms and out into your fingers. It's filling up your entire back, your torso, chest, lungs, everything. This beautiful, beautiful opalescent energy is just gliding down into your body. And it's infusing you with a new energy next to the earth energy. And allow it to continue filling you up all the way down your legs. And once it reaches your feet, we have a little shift. The white opalescent energy exits out your right foot and goes down into the earth, while coming up through your left foot, the earth energy continues to rise through your body. And then at your crown, earth energy kind of mingles with the opalescent energy, and you have a cycle. Now the earth energy is going out through your crown chakra. So you are tethered to the earth, but you have this beautiful earth and celestial energy cycling through your body. So now you are rising up above the building that you're in. You're above the building that you're in. You can look down if you want to. And you're going out through the stars. And we're going to go to Jupiter. Jupiter is a really big planet. It is a monster. So you can spread out, you can take as much space as you want. Now, don't confuse all those little orbs around Jupiter for Jupiter. Those little orbs are Jupiter's moons. You want to be right on the big guy, right on the giant gas planet of Jupiter. And of course, because we're doing this astrally, no harm will come to our bodies. We won't inhale the gases. We will be just fine. And from this vantage point, Jupiter and all of us, we're going to create a new SCOTUS. So Jupiter is the planet that rules the legal system. And Jupiter is giving us this energy of Jove, of largesse, of benefit, of generosity, but also of fairness, of the philosophy of law, of all of the rules, all of the written words that have made up our laws for the last 200, 250 years. Jupiter rules all of that. And so from this vantage point, we're going to look down back on Earth. Just imagine that from that vantage point, you can see the courthouse of the United States Supreme Court. And over that courthouse, there's a kind of a dome of light over the courthouse. And this dome of light is sort of a it's purple, but it lights everything up. It's like a black light that when it hits certain things, they just kind of go neon. It's that kind of light. And inside, there are 13 seats at the bench. And we know one of them is going to be Elena Kagan. So if you can imagine, if you know what she looks like, you can imagine it. If not, just imagine some person and call them Elena Kagan and put a dome of light above her head. Her personal dome of light. Make it white, like the opalescent light right above her head, kind of like a crown, kind of like the hat the Pope wears, like a really long, high dome. And that is the light of protection for Elena Kagan. And above that is the purple light. So it's a two-layered light. And then we're going to imagine Ketanji Brown Jackson. Let's just have her sit next to Elena. And for Ketanji, we're also going to put this cone of white light above her head, this light of protection, light also of strength that will allow them to continue to voice what they really feel and know about SCOTUS. And then cap off that white light with a purple light for justice and the law. And then the next person that I think is probably going to stick around on SCOTUS is Amy Coney Barrett. And some of you might find that odd, but I think she has a brain. So let's put the cone of white light over Amy Coney Barrett for protection and strength. And then let's also cap it off with that purple light on top. And now we need to visualize more people on the bench. We need 10 more people. So let's go to the first person. Let's say that we're lining them up from right to left. So we're filling up the bench. The last one will be the Chief Justice. So somebody who's sitting to the left of Amy Coney Barrett is going to be a person. Any gender identity you choose, any color you choose, any height you choose, anything you want to choose about this person. Just imagine this person is smart and they know the law and they know the Constitution. They are sincere and they're just. They're very, very fair. And then let's move on to the next person. Again, we want somebody who is any kind of racial makeup you care to choose, any kind of gender you want to choose, any height, any hair color, any eye color, but put somebody in that seat who can make decisions legally with fairness, with compassion and mercy and strength. All right, now number 4, we need another person, any hair color, any eye color, any gender, any racial makeup that you choose. And just visualize that person who is smart, fair, knows the law of the United States Constitution, as well as just the laws in general of this land, and can exercise those laws with fairness and mercy and compassion and strength. And now we're getting ready for number 5. Another person. I think by now you know all of the criteria that you need to fulfill. And make sure that they are fair, merciful, compassionate, strong, and they must know the law and the Constitution. That's number 5. And now on to number 6. And on for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 5 more. I'm just going to let you listen to the music and do your visualizations. Because you already know the criteria. Okay, I'm going to intrude on your thoughts for a moment here. I hope you've all pretty much finished visualizing the 10 new justices. So when you're ready, just allow your consciousness to come back from Jupiter, back to whatever country you're in, back to the building that you're in, come back to the chair that you're sitting in. Take a deep breath, wiggle your toes a little bit, and then open your eyes. Hi.
That was great.
It was great.
Laura Hammond David says, "Oops, I landed on Uranus." Well, you know what, Laura? Good for you. I almost went to Uranus myself, but then I remembered, whoops, Jupiter is the legal planet. So, you're all about shaking things up. Weren't you the one that said I was very ambitious? You're like, that's very ambitious. Oh no, we're doing it. We are changing the world. That's what we are doing. So what you guys have any feedback or any interesting things that came up?
I saw a good number of women, and particularly a beautiful Native American woman with long, dark, thin, like straight hair, but very, very proud. Just stunning in not only her stature, but and I'm getting goosebumps, the respect. And yeah.
That's what we need, man. That is what we need. Yeah, I had a nice mix of people too. And when I was getting up to like number 8, I saw I think that was a really slender black woman come forward, and behind her, oh, I get so verklempt when I do this. I really do. But somebody else say something.
Yeah, I mean, it did make you feel the importance and impetus as you brought in each person sitting in those positions, and the power and the feeling of how much weight is in your hands to carry for the world, really, because we
Really,
were
yeah.
leader of all of this in that way, in that template of liberty and the rule of law.
Yeah.
And so the feeling, that gravity of that moment and that person taking on that mantle is a powerful thing that is emotional.
Yeah.
And as I was paying very close attention to all of the energy about the knowledge and the application of the law,
Yes.
and the clarity and the courage.
Mm-hmm.
And each one added to the others. So when all 13 were filled, they were supporting each other and allowing those individual glow, that energy and that nuance that they bring.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very intermixed approach.
Yeah.
So it was really, really powerful. And I also saw the Native American.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, what I was going to say before I was overcome with emotion there is that when that one woman stepped forward, number 8, behind her were thousands of judges, thousands and I was like, sorry, there's only the 13 seats. But what I realized is that probably they're going to put term limits on the bench. so
Yes.
that we may need many, many more than, you know, in the next 50 to 60 years. We're probably going to have a lot higher turnover on the which is good, which is healthy,
is.
which keeps it moving and cleaned out. And you know, all of this hanging on to power and stuff, that's just like Mitch McConnell is the epitome of that. And he's just, you know, he just shouldn't be there. I mean, who's that guy, Grassley? God, is he still alive, or do they just like roll him in with an IV in his arm? You know, like, why are these people doing this? It's just such a Pluto and Capricorn kind of thing, you know, just like, I'm old and I'm white, I'm gonna stay here till I die. Like, why don't you have grandkids? Doesn't somebody somewhere want to like bring you a pillow? Come on. You know, it's just crazy for me. But the people that came were just, that was just glorious. That was just glorious.
It was.
And to see them all sitting with their little cones all lit up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that just was cool.
And you know, I envisioned each one of them to be whatever form they wanted to come in, but they all had the divine feminine energy. And I pictured them as these golden white light energy bodies, and whatever would fit in those. But they all, no matter what I did, they were the divine energy. So all the way up to the Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. No matter, I couldn't make it be something else. That's what it ended up being. Yeah.
So it might not be an all-female bench, but it will definitely have divine feminine energy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cool. Very cool. Well, I've just completely been ignoring the chat, so I apologize for that.
Sorry, Karen Cruz just said, yeah, everyone was standing with a staff in their hand. And it's funny you say that, because as all of them were kind of at their seats, it's like what I envisioned was, you know how when they have the jousting, whatever, it's like they're in a circle and each one takes their jousting stick and they are all meeting in the middle. And it's like, that's where the energy is coming from. So Karen, oh, goosebumps. I'm there with you. Yes. Yeah.
That feels like that Nanny McPhee staff that they sit on the ground and
oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, am I telling you I'm a little kid? I guess I am.
Ginger Johnson said, I had a Native American, LGBTQ black male and white female, Mexican American. Yep, same. Yeah, just a beautiful rainbow of people. Yes. It was just really cool. Maybe that's where Pete Buttigieg will end up. You know?
Oh, please. I would love to see him there.
He's just so damn smart. He's just got to do a couple. He's got to do a couple of stints in other positions first. God, he's smart.
Yeah.
And a female chief justice. Yeah, I think if Biden is able to name the next chief justice, I believe he would put in a woman. I just get a real strong sense of that.
Yes.
And probably a woman of some other color. You know.
Yes.
Green or whatever, but you know, I mean, he found Kamala, and Kamala was such a nice mix, and not that makes her makes her not that that's a qualification, but it is nice to see. You know, we have people in the population. I think, you know, white people are like only about 3 or 4% away from not being a majority anymore.
Yes.
You know, we're really close to like, no, you're not. You're just like everybody else now. You know, so it's not that far away. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past him that the people who do those kinds of surveys are always skewing it the way they want it to be.
Oh, of course.
You know.
Listen, Colleen, I could do a survey and prove to you that mother's milk leads to cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. I know. So that was great. Yep. 13.
Wonderful energy. It feels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
we
feel
did that.
uplifted and very positive right now from that.
Well,
This is how we change. This is how we make
Mhm.
the change.
and listen to the the meditation multiple times, because each
Yes.
time you do it, you're multiplying that energy with the people who are watching it, who have watched it, and who will watch it. Keep
Absolutely.
doing that.
Mm-hmm. It's
So,
very important. It's very, very important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, well, that's it. We accomplished what we came here to accomplish, and you guys in the chat witnessed it. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. I really, really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And Laura, you're right. I am very ambitious. I always have been.
If you're gonna dream, dream
You
big.
gotta
That's
dream
right.
and
big.
this is
That's
Colleen, the cool crone. Of course, she's ambitious.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks everybody, and I'm gonna try to get my little outro video to play, but StreamYard is so slow in response tonight. It's just like waiting. So I'm gonna wait a little while on the end stream thing. You might see a bit of a blackout when we get to the end, but thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Marina. Thank you,
you.
Val. I
Pleasure.
really happy that you're here, and I feel much more uplifted myself about the whole SCOTUS issue. All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Next I don't know when the next one
Friday.
is. I'll post it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, where's my little thing? I know I have my video. Where is it? Come on, where did it go?
Everybody can use this time to subscribe and like.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, here I go. All right, bye everybody. Mwah.
All right.